I've spent many years in the east of China, and Kashgar just feels so different from anything I've ever seen before. The scenery around the city is breathtaking, and then there's the food. There's a lot of dishes I can't even name. Kashgar is 4,200 kilometers east of Shanghai. A direct flight takes you more than 6 hours. The city of Kashgar is mostly reconstructed and looks a bit like a giant theme park. So the most interesting attractions here is probably not the architecture, but the food. So let's try out the most authentic food, the most interesting vendors, restaurants, and maybe we have a chance also to have a look into the supermarkets. Let's go. They are selling the famous Xinjiang yogurt candy here. So this is how it's being produced. 可以尝一下一个，谢谢. Tastes a bit of milk powder, but not bad. We are at the traditional Uyghur street food market. They're selling a kind of hot pot I've never seen in Shanghai or Beijing. 一份多少钱? I have no idea what that dish is called, but it's really delicious. It's made of sticky rice and some toppings, probably syrup. So good. Lightly sweetened, but super delicious. That is the typical Uyghur barbecue. 15块一个。这个是羊肺 It's dough. 你好，这个是羊肉吗？这个是羊头，然后这个是羊肠丝。It's lamb tongue and lamb tried. Who's gonna make it really spicy with broth and chili sauce? Oh my god, I hope my stomach can handle that. 老板，15块。So it's actually made of rice, not of meat. Very different from what I thought. We are here to check out the local supermarket and see what kind of specialties they have on offer. It's 10:30 p.m. local time and still so crowded here. The lockers in Chinese supermarkets usually work with paper slips and not with keys. They have so many different types of apples here, just like anywhere else in Central Asia. The number of dried food here is unrivaled. Prima. Wow, they're also selling the Xinjiang style milk candy that we earlier saw in the food street. And here it's actually a lot cheaper. But what I like most here is the amount of local teas. For example, the rose tea. And there's also lots of black teas, flower teas, and milk tea. Who would have thought that there are so many different types of bread available in a Chinese supermarket? Good morning from the breakfast room here of my hotel in Kashgar. Today we'll be going to the livestock market. It's probably the most interesting part of Kashgar where you can learn something about Uyghur culture. This interesting Disney-style hotel would deserve a separate video, but unfortunately we don't have time for that. So let's just hurry up and go. The people at the front desk are saying that there are usually no foreigners checking into that hotel, but at least they have some information about the registration in English and Russian. We're trying to find a cab that will bring us to the livestock market. 喀什成熟市场怎么走？知道吗？你有羊吗？羊巴扎吗？对对对。We are already close to the livestock market. You can see a lot of cattle being transported here around this place. 哎，你好，这个是辣椒吗？是的吗？不辣的。一斤多少钱？一斤吗？25。Everything here has to be very fast. Very fast? Very fast. Everything is very fast. Thank you so much. It's a very nice taste. Not very spicy, but well seasoned. There's probably a bit of chilies and spices and garlic on top. Overall, it's very interesting to eat a fish from Kashgar because I was expecting in this semi-arid area there would not be any local fish available. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. They have a lot of dried fruits here. For example, figs in different shapes and sizes. 我可以尝一下？来，随便尝。They are not very sweet actually. Very tasty, very interesting aroma. We have reached the most interesting part, the place where livestock is traded. As you can see, it's a man's world and very few tourists are to be seen. I've never seen sheep with such big butts. I'm not sure why the locals don't interfere when the tourists are putting those animals even into greater distress. They're loading the camel into the truck because it was sold for probably the equivalent of 600 to 700 euros. It's a young camel, I was told. Normal camels tend to be bigger. This one is probably around 7 to 8 months old. That's the beauty of the Xinjiang countryside. You're gonna see a lot of things you wouldn't see when you're in a travel group. While walking around Kashgar today, I found this agency that is selling tours in the southern part of Xinjiang province. The problem is that the most interesting parts of southern Xinjiang province require border permits and we're not able to get that anymore. So we're choosing a tour that's a little bit shorter and hope that everything will be all right. There are 4 buses and I don't know which one is the correct one. I'm actually quite surprised how green that area is. We've been driving through the past 30 minutes. I expected the landscape around Kashgar to be much more arid. Okay, let's go out for some drink and food. My tour guide has dropped me off somewhere in the middle of nowhere along the Pamir highway. They have pigeons over there. Let's have a look what's going on. 你好，你在这里上班吗？你是哪个国家的？我是德国的。德国的。对，鸽子可以卖吗？我不知道呀。不买的。我也是游客。So not sure what's going on here. Probably. Do you speak English? Speak English. No English? Where are you from? I'm from China. China Kashgar? No, China Shandong. It's 11 o'clock and the sky is still overcast. I was expecting it to be much more sunny and a lot hotter. 我们做红烧牛肉. The beef and the soup are cooking and they are so fresh. The dish is called Hongshao Niuro and it's actually very famous across China, but I believe here in Xinjiang it's supposed to be very nice. Probably the best in the whole of China. So we have noodles, capsicum, beef and soup with probably chili and lots of other spices inside. I was hoping to get more time to explore the vicinity here, but people from the tour company said that we have to hurry up and continue the ride.
从哪儿过来玩的？
我是德国人。
我知道，昨天那会儿问了你。
昨天我们从喀什来，不是，喀萨斯坦。哦。对。It's a pretty nice escape from the bustling city of Kashgar because this place is not very crowded. 其他的地方必须买票。
他进那个公园，森林公园应该要买票。
啊，多少钱？你知道吗？
啊，这个不太清楚，反正咱们报的这个团。
The government is warning against excessive rainfall because, as you can see here, it can be pretty life-threatening. You can see how the water has eroded the mountain over there. It's so nice to see horses being healthy and without blinders. We are about to start the last leg of the journey that involves a 3-kilometer walk. It's considerably colder here than down in the valley. There's people coming on horseback. They are all waiting for their turn to ride a horse. 起码多少钱？
单程50来回100。
你看他脸红了。
He's saying it's 50 one way and 100 return. I guess they planted those trees to prevent the mountain from eroding. Or maybe they're just nice to look at. It looks like this area is still under construction and there is no throughout fare. So we have to turn around to go back by the same way to reach the bus. What I really like about national parks in China is how clean and civilized everything is here. Ni hao. Rainfall here is very rare even in summer. And what you can see here are the spillovers of the Indian monsoon. A few local shepherds still adhere to the traditional lifestyle, but most have moved to the bigger towns and cities. And there are not only yurts, but also a few mud huts remaining in this remote area of Xinjiang. It seems like we have reached the end of the walk. I embarked on my journey to Central Asia with high expectations, but didn't expect to see a mountain that's more than 6,000 meters high above sea level.